All right, folks, another brand new produce pair show for you. I can't say radio, a podcast.
No.
That's right. Here we
Oh,
are.
no,
Again.
it would be this new.
That's right. Brand spanking new, and we've got some greens for you. I'm Dan the Produce Man, along with
Guido the gardener.
All right, Guido, let's get right to it.
Yeah, this is some of my favorite stuff. See, did I ever tell you I'm 100% Italian?
Listen to all those shows, folks, and you will hear that
All the time.
as often as I tell you that spent my first 10 years in Vermont, he'll tell you he's Italian.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So, and if any of you have listened or watched, you know my little outgo is Manja for Nonna Bessie. Well, okay. So I can remember when I was a little kid, we had salad, but we didn't have like white bread American salad, lettuce and stuff. We would have most of the time is what Nonna would say is radicchio, which was like a bitter green, like a bitter salad. And it was usually either escarole or oftentimes it was, which you don't see a whole lot, but it's curly endive.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Sure.
It almost has like a dandelion, like
It's like
look
a
to it.
big frisee.
Right. Frisee is this, just for background, if you get like a salad mix stuff, the pointy looking stuff is frisee. And this curly endive is in that same family.
Sure.
But it was literally bitter. And they would put olive oil, vinegar, and salt. And that was it. And that was
Just the escarole, olive oil, vinegar, and salt. That's it.
Yeah. As like a salad.
Okay.
And I
chopped up fine or just cut?
Yeah. No. Like slivered.
Okay.
Ridicule. Anyway, so these two, this one, escarole, it's in that same family. They're all what? Basically, they're all like chicories.
Yeah.
And that it's like a loose leaf romaine lettuce. And this one here is
looks like it.
It looks like that, but mainly the escarole is used for cooking. I mean, you can eat eat it like a salad, but you can cook that. Well, basically, you don't boil it to death, but you can wilt it. You know, like sometimes you get like a wilted bacon kind of cheese and stuff, and you can do that. You can do that with this, and it's not overly bitter, but it's got a little bit of bite to it. It's not just your everyday like iceberg lettuce. But
No, it's not sweet.
No,
definitely has a peppery, bitter flavor to it. I remember when I first started in produce, I worked for an old Italian guy, and all his buddies would come in, and the old Italians would come into the store. This is the mid-'70s, and they would buy the escarole. What was cool was I would ask them what they were doing with it, and they would bring me back what they made with it.
Now,
here, try this.
Would they cook it or would they eat it like as a salad?
Well, I remember old Frank and his wife Elaine cooked some of that and brought it into the store.
Yeah.
So but I forgot all about that until you just reminded everyone here that you cooked this.
Because it's leafy and ribby. See, it's got a thinner leaf like romaine, but it's got a rib to it. So you get a more crunch out of this too. So either way, either cooked or raw like in a salad. It's very satisfying stuff.
I like it, Guido, with a red grapefruit.
Okay.
Do I have my knife? There's my knife. Oh, there it is over there.
Yeah.
All right. I like to take a grapefruit. Now,
Beautiful.
this is not a Texas or a Florida. It's a California ruby red grapefruit. What variety? I don't know. It's a Rio Star Ruby. I don't know. But I like to take this and chop it up. You have to take the peel off of it a little bit. Chop it up. chop up the escarole, throw this into the salad. Now you can also add, if you want to offset the bitterness with some sweetness, some mandarin chopped up or navel orange, and then some olive oil, and I like cracked pepper. And I learned some of that from our good buddy Carlo Midioni.
Oh boy, there's a guy who can cook.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes a fantastic, cold time of the year salad. So.
And that's in the same time you get this, you get a persimmon. That color would be nice too. Plus you get some sugar out of that.
So are you saying put a persimmon in with that too?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, the color and a little bit of the sugar, because you got acid here, and that's a little bit bitter.
And you know what you do? You
Tell me.
toss all that up in a bowl,
Yeah.
and then you serve it and eat it, and then the juice, the olive oil and the grapefruit juice and the citrus juice at the bottom of the bowl, you pour that into a jar because you use that for salad dressing for something else.
With the cracked pepper in there.
Oh, yeah. And salt if you want or whatever. So,
what about this oddball looking thing? Kind of looks like a Napa cabbage if you look close. But this is another variety of radicchio in the chicory family.
Yeah, a Zucchero, something di Zucchero. I forgot the name of it.
Pong de something. I forgot.
Pong de Zucchero.
Yeah, but it's just a different variety than your regular round old radicchio or the
Small
Belgian
heads.
or the Belgian endive kind. They're all in that same family. But this here mainly is used fresh. You put it into a salad. It's very thin skinned, very delicate. But the flavors, it's.
This sweetens up when it's cooked as well.
That's actually beautiful. Look at that.
It is. Look how beautiful that is. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I would serve something else on that.
Well, you could actually wrap up some ham and something in this and roll it up and roast it in the oven. I bet you'd be fantastic.
Yeah, put rice or something.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting me hungry now.
But you're not going to find this stuff in your standard grocery store either, folks. I bought this at Monterey Market in Berkeley because they have a wide variety of putrinella and all kinds of different chicories.
See the bitterness. Yeah, it's not a tangy. It's actually a bitterness. It comes late. You got to chew this a while before you get the real flavor.
Oh, okay.
But see, if you mix this, say like this one or this one, and you mix it in with like arugula or spinach or some other just everyday kind of lettuce, you'll get a marvelous flavor out of the salad. Now this is the escarole.
Absolutely. All right. Here's another bitter green.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know this is one of your favorites. So I want you to tell folks everything you can about broccoli rabe, or also rapini.
Rapini. Yeah.
Is that what you? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back a ways. Originally, all right, broccoli. Your everyday Johnny Lunch bucket broccoli has been bred for the plant to produce pretty much one big shoot, all right, one large head, all right. But for all you backyard gardeners out there, if you want to plant broccoli in your yard, fall, winter, spring, you don't want to plant that broccoli. What you want to plant is something that is leafier to where you get the smaller broccoli heads around. All right. The reason I mention that is because this broccoli rabe is bred more like your old school broccoli. See the head there? So this is far leafier with more stem and less broccoli head. But
the whole thing is edible from the butt all the way down, all of it.
Absolutely. Now, this tends to be it does have a little bit of a bitter bite to it, but not, it's not real strong. It's not like dandelion leaf strong.
No, and it's peppery.
Yes, yeah. You can,
but the leaf is the like mustard greens.
Right.
You know, I mean, it has that type of flavor.
Yeah, but I like it. I'll cook this. You can actually eat this stuff raw, but just olive oil, salt, pepper if you want, You can bake this. Kind of cheesy. I got to be careful with cheesy stuff. I love cheese. I could eat cheese 3 times a day, but
you can make Mark Todd very happy.
That's right. But it goes well with cheese. You can pan fry it, like kind of. And I haven't made it this way for a while.
Do you have to steam it first before you saute it?
No, not really. I'll cut it up.
You chop it up.
I'll cut it up. Yeah, because see the stems are thick, and but they're tender.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can saute it up. You have some bacon if you want, more so like some pancetta or prosciutto or something, something a little salty. But it's marvelous stuff. And now you can find this pretty much everywhere. Although I think, is that Andy,
sure.
Andy
Boy is the one.
I think Andy Boy produces like 98% of this stuff. But
yeah, because what you'll find at farmers markets called Rapini, it's a little more spread out than this and thinner leaves and more stem.
And this is not like baby broccoli.
Because this is their patented variety.
Okay, gotcha.
No, this isn't like baby broccoli or
broccolini, aspiration. Right. That's another one.
Yeah, that they used to call it aspiration. Yes, now they call it sweet baby broccoli. Is somebody else still calling it aspiration?
Well, no, but see, all right, somebody had aspiration, and somebody had broccolini, and it was the same stuff.
Yeah, Man Packing had broccolini.
Okay. Yeah.
And everybody else had aspiration. But that name just didn't catch on. Sweet baby broccoli.
Yeah.
All that other stuff.
But it's marvelous stuff. And this is actually really easy to grow too.
Oh.
Okay. You can get seeds for this through different seed suppliers. And because it's easy to grow. It's leafy and the bugs don't like it too much. Aphids maybe some, but this, you'll get a lot of food in a small area.
Well, and this is a great side for...
Oh, meat. meat. The first thing I think of, really, is, and you can cook it with it, is steak.
Yeah, okay, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although you can see, if you're sauteing, chicken breasts or something, and any kind of a leafy green thing goes in there. If you've got kale or collards or anything, but the bitterness lends itself to something more substantial. And
these are great in the winter in cold weather, but they're available all year long. All 3 of these, But it's fantastic, and they're loaded with antioxidants, all the same nutrition that you're going to get out of any other dark leafy greens. So you're getting that at the same time while you're enjoying yourself. So hey, what the heck, folks, right?
Yeah, reach for one of these the next time you want to buy kale. And kale's fine, but there's life after kale. Folks.
Yes, there is, absolutely. All right, folks, bitter greens right here. You heard it right here on the Produce Pair. Hey, folks, till next time, I'm Dan the Produce Man, reminding you that it's always best when you get it leafy fresh.
And I'm Guido the gardener, and I'll tell you what my Nonna Bessie always told me. Manja.